was going to set off up the River Stort today, and this is what I woke up to. I'd already lowered them fenders by a foot yesterday because of the rising levels of the river. If you look over that side, it's about 4 inches away from bursting its banks and flooding them holiday homes. Believe it or not, that's the mooring pin down there underwater. I'm going to take a look at the situation further up the river to see if I can move. Look how fast that water's flowing. This is the really low bridge up near Roydon station. Looking at the other side of that bridge, Aitch is not getting under there today. I'm going to show you the journey today on the River Stort from Roydon Mill up to Hunsdon Mill House. Morning. We're off at last. 2 days later than I'd planned, but it's all good. I haven't seen any other boats moving today. Perhaps they know something I don't. Three days ago, this boat on the right, Sobek, couldn't get under the bridge and had to reverse back to where it's moored now. This bridge, the other side of it's like a T-junction really. So when I was having a look at it, I thought to myself, I think I'll take this at an angle because it's quite wide and I'll already be half turned before I get out the other side. I'd already walked up this morning and had a look at this bridge and the next one to see if I can get under them okay. This one, okay. Next one, yeah. Got about a foot to spare. This is where I came up a couple of days ago and filmed how fast that the water was flowing. It's flowing nowhere near as fast, but it's still current under there. I can tell by the amount of revs I'm having to put on the engine just to get it moving. I said earlier that I think we're going to be okay getting under these bridges. The second bridge is going to be a bit tighter. I'm thinking about that coming up here now. You've got Royden station over here on the left. As you can see, that train pulling in. Here we go. I'm just going to aim Aitch as close to the centre of that bridge as I can get it because of the arch of the bridge. And the grab rails on the side are going to be very tight. done it with a couple of inches to spare. There's some lovely looking properties here on the right with their gardens backing onto the river. Then you've got this workboat coming up, stuck out in the middle of the river. There's no one working on it. If you've got a wide beam, the only way you're going to get past this is by ruining your paintwork on the trees on the left. It's that tight. This is the view I get as I'm steering through the gap. These willows do make for some delightful scenery, but it's a bit like an obstacle course driving in and out of them. But I wouldn't change it. Wonderful. I keep coming across some fantastic scenery on the Stort. I'm so glad that I came up here. You got another low bridge coming up. I've had to take the camera off the roof. If you look under this bridge, they're not just scratches, they're like gouges where other boats have hit it. As soon as you come out from the other side of the bridge, it's like a complete different change of scenery. It's like open parkland. And I'm already starting to notice that the wind is affecting the steering of the boat, where you haven't got the protection of the trees. I'm chugging along, enjoying myself, having a look at everything, and I've looked up and I've just noticed there's a lock, and I'm completely in the wrong position to get onto that lock landing. I should be much farther over onto the right. So this is going to be a test of how I can handle Aitch. At this angle there's going to have to be some revs involved because I'm going to have to turn Aitch quick. This is the view I get when I'm trying to judge where the bow is, because I've got to turn it late. The bow's got to be near enough touching the lock landing. While this is going on, I'm getting attacked by trees. I've got dogs barking at me. And I think I'll come out of that alright. I've heard that there's a cafe on this lock, so I think a nice takeaway latte will be in order. I'm really looking forward to that. Although it might not look it, it's chilly this morning. You can see how I've wrapped myself up. I'm giving the boat a little nudge out here, but I've got to make sure I jump on because I've got no rope and the boat can float off without me. Then where would I be? I'm making sure that I pull into the side of the lock that's actually got lock ladders this time. I'm not as thick as I look or sound. I do actually learn. Eventually. We'll have a little look around this lock, shall we? There's the cafe. The sign says, shut this year. So it looks like I'm going to have a long wait for that coffee. Here I go again, off into the unknown. By unknown I mean I don't know where I'm going to be living for the next few days. Don't know what it's going to look like. But that's all part of the experience. I don't know what this is coming up on the left. Looks like some kind of manual sluice mechanism of some sort. That sign on the left is Hunsdon Mead Nature Reserve. Hunsdon Mead has been managed for over 600 years on the ancient Lammas system, under which it is only grazed by cattle after a July hay cut. Apparently this is what accounts for the abundant wildlife that grows and lives here. I find things like that interesting, where they use the ancient ways to manage the land. They didn't use chemicals or insecticides in them days. Standing on the back of one of these narrowboats, it does clear your mind. You're not rushing about to get home, because you are home. You're taking it with you. Time's yours. You've only just got to worry about the weather, really, or daylight. You wouldn't think that you was going by a big town like Harlow. It's actually not far over there on the right. It looks like you're out in the middle of nowhere. That wide beam coming up on the left has got an interesting paint job. I'd bet any money that bloke who painted that, or who owns it, has got an aquarium on there. Or at least a fish bowl. Right, we're coming up to the lock landing. No dramas this time, hopefully. Can you see the two gongoozlers up there on the bridge? It looks like they're going to give me, you know, like when they hold the card up and give you the marks for how I got onto the lock landing. Hope they give me some generous marks for that. If you're wondering where the gongoozlers went, they gave me low marks, so I pushed them in. When I untied the centre line, the back of the boat drifted out. So I thought, rather than nudge the front, I'll try something different. So I reversed back and then swung into the lock. I think that worked out well. I'll have to remember that one. Right, let's have a look around this lock. Apparently, otters have been reintroduced into this area after going extinct in the 70s. I'm not sure if you'd call this a bywash or a weir. That's Hunsdon Mill House over there on the left, and if you look at the grounds, they look beautiful. Someone's really spent some love and time on that. And that's where our journey ends for the day. Thank you very much for coming along with me, and I'll see you next time.